Trying to find an out-of-the-way place when there's 5,000 people at a convention center can be tough. Hi, I'm Mike Bridges, Vice President of Communications with the League, and welcome to the LSCU from the GAC. One of the things that the League tries to do at the CUNA GAC is give Alabama and Florida attendees a little extra for their registration. That's what happened on Tuesday with side meetings with the NCUA and the CFPB.
What I wanted to do this afternoon.
NCUA board member Mark McWater spent 45 minutes in a standing room only room. He started out by saying he can't help credit unions if they don't tell him what they need help with. He answered every question, many of which came from Alabama and Florida credit unions. McWater said he was for more supervision and less regulation. He also said the risk-based capital proposal was a bad political move. Lister Hill Credit Union CEO Brad Green suggested a better partnership between NCUA and credit unions with more proactive dialogue to get in front of an issue.
My suggestion to Board Member McWaters was maybe that, they could facilitate more proactive dialogue, on the front end of the rules making process or on the front end of the exam process, when the exam team enters the shop, and that might be a good way to start an exam process and avoid, as many problems as we seem to discover.
McWater said he wants clear, objective regulations that is easy to read. He also said he can't fight the bureaucracy without recording a foundation first. He said getting a chance to speak to the general session and with a room full of credit unions is immensely beneficial.
I was not put on this board to simply parrot what NCUA staff says or parrot what the credit union community says. I mean, I practiced law for 30 years, so I take both of these areas, I weigh them together and I balance them and try to come up with a regulatory scheme, protocol that makes sense.
The CFPB spent 45 minutes with the same group of credit unions going over new rules they are working on and an update on past rules. The representative said the overdraft protection rule is still coming this year, just later on. They said they understand credit unions are under large regulatory burden. Dodd-Frank was an issue raised, and they said that they are in the non-mortgage phase now. The representatives also answered questions on the definition of a rural credit union and a merchant debit card. This was the second meeting with the CFPB this week. Both meetings are an extra perk for Alabama and Florida attendees.
Right now there's so much concern about overdraft protection, a proposed rule that we expect them to bring down later on this year. So this gives us another opportunity to have a larger group that they can hear directly from on this issues and other issues of importance.
We have a lot of credit unions who are Cuban Americans that are ready and willing to participate.
Earlier in the day, Patrick Lapine was part of a panel to the National Press Club that looked at the U.S.-Cuba relations through the cooperative model. The National Cooperative Business Association held the roundtable. The cooperative model is one of the few business models that works in Cuba, but mainly agriculture. It is growing, though. Lapine told the group that all of the growth will need financial services, and credit unions have the model that works. The NCBA is building a working group that will visit Cuba 2 times in a year. They see the cooperative model having the best opportunity to rebuild Cuba's economy. Lapine says the roundtable discussion was a good first step.
I think it was great for them to have us involved. We continue to work closely with WOCU as well to make sure that we're well positioned for if and when we're able to actually start looking at how to work with the Cuban government on forming credit unions, that they look to us as being one of the key partners.
The Crashers have infused some energy into the CUNA GAC. With more than 100, you can hear them and see them everywhere. Rachel Walks from Jax Metro says being a part of the Crashers has broadened her view of the movement and been extremely beneficial.
It's definitely really rewarding to know what I'm doing now and working towards, making a place for the young professionals in the industry and the Gen Y, that it's actually, its effects are being seen all over. Everyone's trying to do the same thing. And it's like we're not alone on an island trying to do this. We're all together trying to make a difference. And we're actually going to do it because we're all trying to do the same thing.
Hard to believe, but the CUNA GAC is quickly coming to an end. Monday's broad look at the issues gave way to a more micro look on Tuesday. Now those issues travel a couple of miles up the road to Capitol Hill. Alabama and Florida credit unions will make 38 visits on Wednesday, and you'll see them on the next LSCU from the GAC.